All right, let's dive right in. We're about to unpack 10 really powerful steps from a classic financial book. Think of it as a roadmap designed to awaken that financial genius that's inside you. And this isn't just theory, okay? It's a practical guide to building real, tangible wealth.
You know, the book kicks off with this amazing analogy. There was this old gold miner who said gold is literally everywhere, but most people just aren't trained to see it. And the exact same thing is true for wealth. It's not really about luck, it's about training your mind to spot the opportunities that everybody else just walks right past.
And that, right there, is the big problem we're trying to solve. Every single one of us has this potential, this financial genius, but for most people, it's just dormant. So why is that? Well, it's because from a very young age, we're taught to be afraid of money and risk, which pretty much puts that powerful part of our brain to sleep.
So, that brings us to the first and maybe most crucial part, your mindset. These first few steps are all about building that deep internal motivation you're going to need to smash through any obstacles that get in your way. It's all about defining your why.
This right here is step number 1, finding your reason. Look, just wanting more money, it's not going to cut it. It's too vague. Your motivation has to be really emotional. You need a powerful list of wants, like being totally free to travel, and an equally powerful list of don't wants, like the absolute dread of working your entire life. Without a strong why, you're just going to run out of steam.
Okay, so once your motivation is locked in, you need the right kind of fuel. This next set of steps is all about what you feed your mind, the knowledge you pick up, and just as important, the people you let influence you.
And that leads us to step 2, the power of choice. Every single day, you vote with your time and your money on whether you're going to be rich or poor. The source material points out this really stark contrast. 90% of people will choose to buy entertainment, like a new TV, while only 10% invest in themselves by buying business books. That one little daily choice, when you compound it over years, is what shapes your entire financial future.
So here's the bottom line, and this is so crucial. Before you even think about investing in stocks or crypto or real estate, you have to invest in your own financial education first. Your mind is your number one tool for creating wealth. Trying to invest without that knowledge, that's like trying to fly a plane without ever going to flight school. You're just going to crash.
All right, so next we focus on 2 really key ideas. First, the power of who you hang around with. Seriously, surround yourself with people who talk about opportunities, not just problems. You got to avoid those chicken littles who tell you every new idea is doomed to fail. Second, you have to become a master learner. Start by mastering one way of making money, say real estate, and once you've got that down, learn another. The goal is to just keep learning, always.
Okay, you've got the motivation, you've got the knowledge. Now for the most critical part of all, taking action. This last set of steps gives you the practical, hands-on playbook for turning what you know into actual, real wealth.
We start with what the author calls the single most important habit for building wealth. Pay yourself first. And listen, this isn't a suggestion, it's a rule. Before you pay your rent, before you pay your credit card bill, you first put money into your asset column. That's the bucket for things that will make you more money, like stocks or rental property. Now I know that sounds terrifying, right? Pay myself before my bills? But here's the counterintuitive genius behind it. The pressure from your creditors actually becomes a powerful motivator. It forces you to get creative, to hustle, to find new ways to make money, and that ultimately makes you mentally and financially stronger. If you pay yourself last, sure, there's no pressure, but you're also left with nothing. You just stay weak.
This leads us to how sophisticated investors actually think about their money once it's ready to invest. They aren't just looking at how much they'll make, they are obsessed with one specific metric. What do you think their number one question is?
The number one question is this: how fast do I get my money back? That is the absolute essence of return on investment, or ROI. The wealthy don't just focus on making a profit. They focus on getting their initial money back as fast as humanly possible so they can roll it into the next deal.
And here's how that works in the real world. The author calls it getting something for nothing. So, let's say you buy a small condo for $50,000. The rent you collect pays you back that full 50 grand over maybe 3 years. Now, your initial money is back in your pocket, ready for the next investment. But here's the kicker. You still own the condo. You now have a cash-flowing asset essentially for free.
So these last few principles kind of complete the blueprint. First, pay for good advice. A great broker or accountant will make you way more money than they cost. Second,
Use the cash flow from your assets, not your paycheck, to buy luxuries like a new car. Third, find heroes like a Warren Buffett and just study how they think and act. And finally, teach what you've learned and be generous. The more you give, the more you seem to receive.
So there you have it, the whole blueprint. We've gone from mindset to knowledge all the way to concrete action. Now, let's just lock it all in with a quick recap.
All right, let's run through the 10 steps one last time, rapid fire. Number 1, find your deep emotional why. 2, choose to learn something every single day. 3, pick your friends carefully. 4, master a formula, then find a new one. 5, have the discipline to pay yourself first. 6, pay your advisors well. 7, focus on getting your money back fast. ROI. 8, let your assets buy your luxuries. 9, choose your heroes. And 10, teach what you know and give back.
You know, after all the learning and planning, it really just boils down to this one simple truth from the book. You can have the best map in the world, but it is completely worthless if you never actually take that first step. Action is the one thing that separates people who dream from people who achieve.
So, the only question that really matters now is for you. You have the blueprint. You get the principles. Which one of these 10 steps are you going to put into action? Not tomorrow, not next week, but the moment this explainer ends.